yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, Canes fans, welcome to the Mario era, chapter 169.
169. Brown chicken Bronco. What's up, Canes fans? What's up, boys? What's up, Scoopy?
Hola.
What's up, Toasty?
Scoop already wants to leave.
I'm so tired. It's like I bumped this up half an hour.
Yeah.
I'm pushing through. I came back from Arizona. You know, it's very interesting. How many hours difference do you think it is?
2.
That would make sense. But it's April. They do not have daylight savings time. So depending on the time of year, it's 2 or 3. Well, let me tell you the disadvantage of that single hour. It's remarkable.
Yeah, we just need to do
you
away
wake
with
up and your phone is a disaster because you're 3 hours behind. And yeah, you were in Texas, right? You were 2 hours, or is that one?
One. Where I was.
Well, it sucks. So great time, but it's 3 hours. I've been up since 3 o'clock. Body time, and I'm pushing through, and I need to go to bed.
All right, well, we appreciate you.
But we're gonna enjoy ourselves here for a little bit first.
Bet your ass we are.
Mm-hmm.
Where do you guys want to start? Any personal stuff, or you want to get them down to Greentree and recap?
There's a lot. There's a recap of the draft. We got the portal popping. Portal
Poppers. Porta potty poppers.
I think we should go down to Greentree.
Fight 72.
All right, so we had 7 Canes drafted, tied for 5th most. Most we've had since 2017 when we had 9. Cam Ward goes number 1 overall to the Titans. Seahawks take 2. Jets take 2. Jalen to Cincy. Andy to the Pats. Those were the draftees. A lot of signed undrafted free agents. We got mini camp invites. Where do you guys want to start?
I think we should go number 1 overall because he should have had more praise. I hated the fact that as culturally, and I'm not trying to derail this off the Greentree, but we had to listen to so much Shedeur Sanders talk. I mean, Cam Ward was a 0-star prospect, 0-star. Incarnate Ward went to Washington State, improved his stock, got to Miami. Miami put him over the precipice, and now he's this huge star in the making, probably the best quarterback that I've seen in decades, at least in the orange and green. No offense to some of our friends who played that position. Deserving of the number 1 overall pick. We got shout out on the NFL Network. Go team. And all we heard was Shedeur. Mel Kiper, shut the hell up. But when it's all said and done with, what a great day for Canes fans having the number 1 overall pick, especially at the quarterback position, which Mario's a quarterback killer. I don't know if you've read the APB. That's what it says.
Scoop?
I mean, I could talk ad nauseum on how disgusted I was about it, but I probably shouldn't because that'll bore people. Although maybe it'll make people happy and get angry and bang the tables. Ro's right. It was disgusting. The entire time that the Titans were on the clock, ESPN did nothing but talk about everyone other than Cam Ward. And primarily Shedeur Sanders. And it's gross, man. They didn't even air his onstage interview. This is the number 1 pick in the draft. Nobody else fucking matters. And they didn't even air his interview on stage. The man was crying. So you're telling me that's not a story that you can get behind? You want to get behind the bullshit from the guy with the hair who hasn't been right about anything, not nothing, not dick for 25 years. But that's the guy that you want to, let's put him on his stand and let him talk bullshit for an hour. I've cussed more now than I have in 11 months, I think, on this show. It was gross, man. It was upsetting, to be honest with you. The Canes fan, it was great. But it was upsetting, and you wonder why the ESPN sucks. Look, Scott Van Pelt called out his own network. Say, what are you guys doing? That's a travesty. It's a joke, and it is a joke. It's a joke.
Yeah, from someone that spent 20 years in media. Listen, I mean, ESPN is a shell of what it used to be, but the fact that you actually had so-called sports journalists ignoring a zero-star prospect who had to go to incarnate word to start his career goes number one overall in the NFL. Like that story of rags to riches is this the Rudy story. It's always been like there's going to be a 30 for 30 about this. There's already going to be a documentary. I think they're talking about the whole deal. Like this is going to be a biopic if he has a successful NFL career in like 25 years. And the fact that they just ignored it was just it blew me away. But it is what it is. I all I will say is I think it's a lesson for everyone that when it comes to the NFL draft, if you're not watching the NFL Network, then you're doing yourself a disservice. Because the NFL Network gave Cam all of that attention. They
Rightfully so.
They were talking about him because the NFL's agenda is the NFL. They're not going to play into the Sanders family and Mel Kiper and all that. Everyone there works for the NFL. They're going to talk about the players, which is most important. And number one is the most important player taken. So, yeah.
And then they tried to like interject different theories on why Shedeur doesn't go on when you look at the overall landscape of the first round or first two rounds, you're like, you can't even make that. You said it best, Toasty. It's a shell of its former self. With that many University of Miami Hurricane players drafted, I remember Mario Cristobal's first year when he was like, I don't see a lot of NFL scouts here at the end of the year. Come pick up your kids. It was kind of like his call to arms. I need to up the talent in this place. And it's at least a good sign. Regardless, I know there's some people who are Mario detractors. They don't like his game day philosophies. Let's put that on the shelf for now. But you can't argue the fact that the University of Miami had a great showing in the NFL draft. And even I hate to say this, I knew that 40 time was going to hurt. I didn't think it was going to hurt that bad, but if it's going to hurt, at least that was the silver lining and the luck pot at the end of the rainbow that you can get reunited with Cam Ward, because Cam Ward being the number one overall pick, the guy who should be celebrated, the ambassador now for the Titans, that's his guy. Regardless if he got drafted or not, I mean, you know who we're talking about, Xavier Restrepo. He's going to have a little bit more of a protected class for him because that is his guy. That is his safety blanket. And it's nice for Cam Ward, too, because the NFL is going to be flying around a mile a minute, and he can look over and see X. I think that's a great story, too, even though it wasn't necessarily the most joyous of occasions on draft day.
It made it a lot. Look, we asked him. We said, how great would it be if you guys were on the same team? And he said, they did what they did in 7 months. Makes it a lot easier for me because now we only have to go out and buy one jersey.
Yeah, correct.
You don't have to get two, and you don't have to watch two different games either.
No, yeah.
You get to watch one game.
I'll actually watch many more Titans games. I was going to watch none. I was going to watch basically none. But now I will probably watch 6 or 7.
You have to.
Yeah.
You have to. For the uniforms alone.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Xavier is going to be just fine. Xavier is just fine. They're of the same kind of mentality. They kind of have that same mental makeup. At the heart of the matter, they always feel slighted and disrespected, and they have a chip on their shoulder. So that gives this incredible urge to succeed, to work. They're both kind of cut from similar cloths. And I think regardless of one's protected because he's the number one overall pick, the other one's going to be protected too, both by work ethic.
Oh, no, Cam's going to get his guy a guaranteed contract, at least for the first couple of years, and I think he's going to be there for a long time. I have no doubt X is going to have a very nice NFL career. And the other guys, listen, they really did have 9 because X should have been drafted, and Jacoby got a 5th-round guarantee in terms of money. So, I mean, it's weird. I mean, I have no doubt that Jacoby's going to stick with Carolina as long as he, doesn't do anything stupid and all of a sudden get the dropsies or anything. Porter, Powell, Barrow, not sure, but I'm pretty sure Restrepo and George are going to stick going into the season.
Yeah. A good showing for the University of Miami. University of Miami Hurricane fans should be proud. Yeah,
man,
let's go.
Seahawks went bananas.
Fucking keeping that pipeline going. From Cortez,
on more than
Kennedy
one occasion.
to Arroyo, I know, and now Martinez.
Yeah,
I know. I love it. We love those Miami running backs. Travis
Impressive.
Homer, DJ Dallas.
And it's worked out for Seattle. It's worked out for Seattle, so good for them. And listen, we knew Damian Martinez, not at the beginning of the year. He kind of picked up hardcore towards the end of the year, and you kind of saw why he was there. And we'll talk over to the portal side, too, because your Miami Hurricanes got a pretty decent running back from North Dakota State.
Yeah, he is pretty good, but Martinez going back to the Pacific Northwest. I mean, you got to feel as though that's a comfort for him.
Yeah,
true. Yeah, so that's look. I thought that was a great pick. I love Arroyo out there. I think that's going to be awesome. Look, I think Darnold hopefully is can be remotely close to what he was in Minnesota for a period of time, and Seattle can be productive. I think Arroyo has the opportunity to be. I saw a stat. Hold on a second. Let me think about this. You guys see this stat?
I don't know.
The University of Miami has had an NFL tight end on its roster since 1996. Every year since 1996, the University of Miami has had an NFL tight end on the roster without missing, no gap in between.
It's almost, you're encroaching 30 years.
Complete insanity.
Yeah, tight end, baby.
That's sad. Once I said 96, I know who graduated in 96.
Yeah,
and then I just did the math. I was like, oh my goodness, it's 2025 next year. It's 30 years. Hey,
There you go.
Whatever.
Yeah.
Perfect. Anyways, I
Anyway,
don't know. We're tight end.
Jimmy Graham was
who
with the
who are
Seahawks
you
as
the
well.
most surprised
Great question.
about either getting drafted where they did or not getting drafted at all?
I mean,
Well,
Xavier,
before-
minus Xavier. All
Minus
right,
Xavier.
because
Minus
okay.
Xavier.
Yeah, but before you say, let's just apologize to Dolphin fans in advance. Sorry, you got to deal with Andy kicking field goals on your ass for the next 15 years.
I think you stole my thunder too, so that's perfect.
Where'd he go?
Pats.
Yeah.
Nice.
Was he deserving
had a
of,
really
of a
good
pick?
draft.
Was he deserving
did.
of a pick? Yes. It's just so rare. I think sometimes when you see kickers going into the draft. So that's it for me. Andy being in a draft. Does he deserve it? Absolutely. Loved Andy. Loved his mentality. It was just, I was like, wow, good for him. Good for him. Like, because if you would have told me, we said X is off the table, but if you would have told me before Andy's getting drafted, Xavier's not, we would have told you absolutely not. BTB probably wouldn't even had that. But here we are. So that's me, Andy.
Scoop. Or for me, biggest surprise. Taking X off the table. I'll be honest, it was Jacoby. I really thought Jacoby was going to get drafted. I just love his talent. Listen, I've been a fan of his since he was coming out of high school. But yeah, I just thought just his trades. I thought he really had a good season. I was surprised that he didn't go at least like in the 5th or 6th round. I really was. So I was happy.
But he got the money.
He got guaranteed money. He got
the money.
215 guaranteed, which is basically a 5th round pick.
Interesting.
Are they? Hold on. I don't mean to hijack it, but Scoop, I know you're going to have a pick. I mean, these are NFL drafted players. All right. You told me he gets 215. Isn't that criminally low? I mean, you are the 1% of the 1% just to get drafted. In the first round, you are the 1% of the 1% of the 1%. That is way, I know, but I understand Sam Bradford was the last of the bonus babies. But you can't do this to these guys. They've worked their whole life. 250? Come on.
215. No,
215? Yeah. Even that. I mean, these are, I think they should up it. I think they should. That's criminal in my opinion. But
Right.
Scoopy, who was your surprise?
You should be their new head of their union.
You should do it.
Well, like anything, when they had
you.
the same dispute with minor league baseball, real quick, what they did is, okay, we'll pay you a lot more. And you know what they did? They shut down like 50% of the minor league baseball teams.
Yeah.
Okay. So we could get them more money, and they'll immediately say, oh, we're only doing 5 rounds.
Yeah,
we're not doing 7.
The rosters even more. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Because you know how those owners be. Scoopy, who was your biggest surprise?
I think it was Zach Carpenter. Undrafted.
I think he can stick with the Dolphins.
I mean, I thought he was NFL caliber. I mean, he came out of Indiana, right? I mean, he was a top graded guy. I think he was the top center in the portal. We got the top center in the portal coming in this year. We got the top center in the portal the previous year, actually. So I think that's 3 in a row. That surprised me. That surprised me. And Jalen Rivers going as late as he did, I think is ridiculous, to be honest with you. I think that he's going to have a really solid career.
I was hoping the Seahawks were going to take him.
Those Hurricanes, they'll do okay. They'll do okay.
See.
Yeah.
So
All
what
right.
you mentioned,
everybody got listen. Even Mason Napper, the long snapper, got an invite to go show up in Buffalo and get a try alongside Elijah Alston. So for the rookie camp,
like it.
We'll be all right, boys.
listen, I think what this whole when you look at this whole list of what like fucking 15 players, there's no doubting, guys, that these are all Mario guys that we are seeing we've seen a significant increase. We weren't seeing this many players getting drafted, getting invites, getting signed as undrafted free agents. It's been a significant talent upgrade. We've seen it on paper in the recruiting, but now you're seeing it according to the NFL scouts as well. It's validation.
Yeah, absolutely. I think Al Golden, he was sneaky good at that. He would get some people in there. He had an eye for talent. I'm going to give him credit. I think we dropped a little bit during the Diaz years for sure. Rick was kind of, at the sunset of his career, but now you see Mario Cristobal a few years under his belt. Now you see the roster trajectory. And the last time the University of Miami Hurricanes won a national championship, you saw what the NFL did then. So it almost does have to go hand in hand. We're not where we were. Obviously, we might not ever get to that 2001 talent, but you got to try. You got to try to get that again. You got to try to recreate that in the bottle, because when you have talent like that, Larry Coker was able to win a national championship. So
I will say this about the draft. You might not be aware, but ESPN has separate coverage than what's on ABC. ABC had Saban and Herb Street with Reese, and Saban was actually. They kept popping up these players and kept being, there's another player that I recruited my ass off for and didn't get.
Yeah.
It was freaking hilarious, dude. He was pretty good. Pretty good.
Oh, yeah. Can't catch them all, Nikki. As good as you were. There's some Pokemon that are off the table.
So we got portal going on right now. Kane's class is currently number 4. We are still awaiting a decision at time of this. We're Thursday night at 8:30 on AJ Halsey, the safety from Houston, but picked up the running back from North Dakota State, Chamar Brown, Jerry Rice Award winner, top freshman in FCS, beat out Cal in Nebraska for him. Picked up Keelan Marion, the kickoff wide receiver from BYU, Tony Johnson, the wide receiver from Cincinnati. So, Scoop, we got some wide receivers.
Yeah, way too many slots. I mean, how many slot receivers do we need?
I mean, how many can you have 2 slots?
I mean, the only thing I can think is like they realized by law of averages we need to replace Xavier Restrepo's like production in the slot. So let's just get them all. Somebody's got to be good.
I mean, I don't. And Nykar came back. Like, what are we doing?
Yes, because he's bought into the plan, which is to
have
as
11
slot
slots
receivers as possible. Apparently, yes.
Like,
they're all bought in. I don't know what to tell you, Scoop.
Everyone's like, I saw somebody mention we have 3. One of them's 18. Incorrect. Incorrect.
How many do we have?
Those guys aren't playing on the outside.
Okay.
Mean, you tell me our outside guys.
Well, CJ Daniels.
Yep. I'm glad you found one.
Yeah. And list.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know who
we
else.
Can go. No, we can go. So we can go. We can go CJ Daniels.
Jojo. CJ and Jojo.
Good.
And then a bunch of slots.
15 guys in the slot. And you have a tight end.
We got a lot of tight ends.
Yeah. So you're good in the middle of the field, man. You got 2 outside guys. Let's go. Let's roll.
Okay. I mean, it sounds like a great plan. What do I know?
I mean, they're still big game hunting, but at least they're trying to address it. They might not be addressing it the way we want to, but we knew that we need to get the wide receivers and upgrade the talent. So at least they're going after that position.
I'm not so sure about the Tony Johnson. I like the Marion because I love the fact that you picked up the best kickoff returner and returner so I'm all in on that one. The Tony Johnson, I'm with you, Scoop. It's kind of a head scratcher with what you already have on the roster. But listen, we're gonna let. I think you kind of got to give the benefit of the doubt to Shannon. He knows what he needs for his offense to cook, and these are the pieces he's asking for. They're obviously getting him for him. So he's coming off the number 1 offense in the country. As long as he keeps it in the top 10, top 15, things are going to be good. So,
now, you said it. I'm going to put my technical hat on. Can you get away with having 2 slots in the field? Of course. I mean, you can. So with the University of Miami maybe favoring a less 12 set personnel, and just as a reminder, when you talk about that, it's the running back and then the tight end package first. So you're like, when we say 12 set is one running back, two tight ends, and we would do that with Cam McCormick last year, right? We would kind of feature him. Now, if you're going away from that little blocking back thing, and you use more 11 set or 10 set, right, where you don't even have a tight end, then you could have two slots on the field, right?
There you go. See?
Then you could have three slots on the field and one wide receiver, because what you do is you have one bona fide. Yeah.
Crazy, Ro.
Well, I'm just talking about prototype, right? You got like the archetype really of what a slot, what you consider, right? Because when I'm thinking of an outside receiver, what do you usually think about? 6 foot plus, right? They could be bigger, but they could be slender. You're thinking your Randy Moss or your T.O. body type, the playmaker that's on, right? And then the slot usually a little bit more diminutive. But what I'm saying is, if you got like a guy like JoJo outside, and then you're really filling up the other three positions in a 10-set personnel with no tight end, you got a lot of speed on the field. That could be a mismatch too. So maybe you're seeing kind of a tipping of the hand by Shannon Dawson. We might not be featuring two tight ends as much as we did last year, and we have the ability to put two slots on the field.
Ro, are you suggesting, it sounds like you might be suggesting, that perhaps Shannon Dawson's offense is evolving into something that is even more innovative than it was before?
I'm not going on that limb just yet. Shannon was good, but Shannon has always said, and Scoop has said this numerous times, I'm only good as my quarterback.
That's right.
Right. So it's really still going to fall on Carson Beck's shoulders. How well can Carson Beck? My biggest concern coming in here is when defenses around ACC time start to kind of figure you out and start to play tendency ball. I want to see where his answers were. 2 years ago, I didn't like the answers. Last year, Cam Ward was your answer. So we'll have to see how Carson Beck responds.
So I'll be honest, I'm not sure we're going to get AJ Halsey. I don't know how you don't commit after seeing that living arrangements and then accidentally bumping into Rick Ross. But we still don't have a commitment. I think he may have left town. So I don't know.
Big game hunting. Big game hunting. Big game hunting.
How huge of a loss would that be for you guys if we don't get that safety?
You saw how bad that defense was.
I don't know who he is.
He's from Houston.
Yeah. Just
the number one guy in the portal.
Who this guy
number one guy in the portal, safety guy.
Gotcha.
So it's just bad
slot receiver. Guarantee we'd lock him up that way. You want to be the seventh guy in the slot, AJ?
A lot of slots.
Got you.
I don't know. I after last year seeing how bad the safety play was, but again, it's going to be a different defense too. So let's see what the new DC, Dr. Doom. We'll see what Dr. Doom can do in terms of the backfield and see how those guys get protected, because we've seen it on, we've seen it off. We've seen, and think about it, over the last couple of years, we've seen helter-skelter safety play here at the University of Miami. But it's important.
Last Canes news list I had was the Jackson Cantwell drama. Will be wrapping up on May 13th. So the number one overall player in the 26 class, offensive lineman, tackle. Ugga Ducks are the favorites. Miami is looked at as number 3, Buckeyes number 4. He has said that Miami absolutely has the best offensive line coaching staff in the nation. You guys think we're going to get him or not?
There's a chance, there's a chance, but no, I don't know.
So here's
I'm on the I don't know no side.
Chance, but no, I don't know.
I'll be honest. If the number one player in the country is an offensive lineman, I expect Mario and Alex to land him. That's an expectation that I have. So I will be disappointed if they don't.
I'm most years I would say yes, I agree with you. I just don't know how our salary cap is looking.
So it looks like he's getting $2 million over 3 years. So a $6 million NIL deal is what I was reading.
Exactly. And if they really, really wanted him, they can up that. If he's going to go somewhere else, it's because probably they're going to get outbid for NIL money.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. So it could be a thing where, we could still get a lot of good talent on the offensive line. I'm not worried about it in their evaluation of him. Yeah, we want you. It is impressive. But sometimes I think the NIL salary cap comes into play, and we need money elsewhere right now. Our offensive line is going to be pretty good.
especially when Oregon doesn't have a salary cap, because we all know that Phil Knight has stated publicly that he's going all in before he dies to see them win one, and he's a billionaire.
Stay
So
alive.
They have no. Stay alive.
We do. And you know
that was
what?
The Oregon AD, by the way.
That's the Oregon AD. You know who you gotta and make sure, Phil Knight, you if you see someone with a gun, you know what you got to do, right?
Run.
You know,
He's got a gun.
Fuck off.
You're just looking for an opportunity to tweak him, weren't you? Yeah.
We need you to stay alive, Phil. Run.
Stay alive.
Stay alive. Oh my god.
Oh my goodness.
God.
That was an alley oop. That was the
boy.
easiest alley oop ever. I just love that high off the backboard. Jenners was over the top. I was like this in the front, like Dwayne Wade. Atta boy.
We got to take. We're going to talk about our friends. We still have plenty of stuff to get to. We got to talk about the Jordan Travis announcement. Also, there was some interesting DJ Lagway news. We've got 5 questions. We've got a ton of audio. But Scoop, where's the hat?
I don't know.
Unbelievable.
Told you before I came on here. I don't know. I don't know where it is, and it can't be many places.
You wouldn't think.
No,
Yeah,
no, it
you wouldn't
rarely
think.
leaves this room.
Scoop
And
is
it's
looking
nowhere
up,
to be found.
and he doesn't see that name. But I promise you, when I walk into my house and I look up,
Okay.
I see their name because they fixed a couple holes in your boy's roof. And we know who they are. You know who they are. Paul Bainge Roofing. And you know their number. You should by now. It's 981 Roof, 561 954 305. It doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
No, the only thing that matters is that you have the protection of a non-leaky roof. And we're getting close to hurricane season. And you know what that means. Hurricane season is perpetual blue tarp season. You want to feel protected? You want an inspection? Call them. If you need a new roof, call them. If you need just parts of your roof repaired, call them. And what's his name?
Paul,
And I just said, what do you do?
give him a call.
Bange.
I'm gonna let you know in terms of that inspection thing. I don't know about the rest of y'all. I've had no rain, so you may not even know you have a leak before hurricane season shows up. Just saying, if you want to be proactive about it. Miami Hurricane Team Store is where you can use promo code OBB25. Yes, it does work. And you can go ahead and get 20% off whatever you want. They do have, they've been doing some signings down there, boys, where you can go down there and you can get yourself some autographs. I actually have one bookmarked here. They've got, hold on. That folder's empty. Here we go. It's happening this Saturday from 3 until 4. Micah Newton, Justin Scott, and Donta Simpson are all going to be out there from 3 until 4, and that is at 1340 South Dixie Highway, Suite 120, Coral Gables, Florida. The Miami Hurricanes Team Store. So buy something down there with the promo code OBB25 and then have the guys go ahead and sign it, get a picture taken. You can also go to manscaped.com and take care of your genitals so that they smell good and there's no weird ingrown hairs happening down there because, that'll give you like an abscess. Can you imagine like an abscess on your testicle? Shouldn't even think about that. I don't know why I just did. But OBB is a promo. Get 20%.
It was a hard left turn from the Miami Hurricanes team store to an abscess on your testicles. I mean, like
there was, and I'm not sure why that happened, and I apologize for that. If you were eating like an egg sandwich at that moment, that would have been unpleasant.
We do things.
Yeah.
Can you get that signed too? At the Miami Team Store?
the abscess on your
the abscess on your testicle. They'll probably keep it in a jar for you, auction it off for charity.
Yeah, there you go.
Dude, he's killing baseball.
What doesn't he kill?
I don't know, but he just tweeted a thing about baseball and just like I guess like he's running it. He's running it.
He is running it as he always does. But before we get there,
we got to talk about our boy.
We got to talk about
the
our
most
boy.
feared golfer, the hottest golfer on the PGA Tour.
I don't know if BTB had him as the winner, but I had him as the winner. So
what was that tournament? It's like a pairs thing, like
so
a
it's
doubles?
Zurich. So it's a team. So it's two guys. So he and one of his very good friends, Ben Griffin, who had also never won on tour, but had been multiple second place. They came through Korn Ferry at the same time. So they've kind of done everything together. They live in the same area. They teamed up. This man, over his last 3 tournaments, went T3, which is tied for third, if you don't know. Then solo second, lost to a playoff, to PGA Tour champion in succession. And holy shit, bro, congratulations. That is a remarkable accomplishment. And he is truly, he's one of, I mean, the announcer said the other day, he's easily a top 10 player in the world, arguably top 5 player in the world right now.
I believe he's number 9 in the U.S. Ryder Cup standings.
He is number 9 in the U.S. Ryder Cup standings.
Was that,
and he's number 6 in the FedEx Cup standings.
So forgive me for asking, but is that a full legit win? Because it was a team, like, does that get him in the 2-year exemption?
Yes. So he gets the 2-year exemption. It does not get him in the Masters, and it does not count towards world ranking points, which he's up to 34-ish.
All right. So that hurts him for the British Open.
I don't know. I know he's in PGA. I know he's in US Open.
In the world golf
34
rankings?
in the world currently.
Oh, dude. No.
Look, bro, it's when he and I met each other, I think it was 5 years ago now. He was 300 and something. Mm-hmm. Right? Just getting on tour.
Yeah.
Every year.
When I golfed with him at Jacaranda, he was like in the 100s.
Yeah, every year. Better. And now he's dangerous.
Couldn't happen to a nicer guy, too.
It's so cool.
Just genuinely a good person.
And Maddie got to be on the green, celebrate it. Like, just awesome. Like, I was in Arizona playing when it was happening. So I had it on my phone. The people were like, what are you watching? I'm like, leave me alone. I'm busy. I was literally taken out to the green with me. Like, it was nuts, dude. So it was cool. It was, congratulations, man. Incredible. So BTB, beatingthebookie.com. It's where you get all your packages. You get all your free plays at Beating the Bookie, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of your social medias.
So he is currently 17-4 in his last 21 Major League Baseball picks.
Very good.
Including a 3-unit and parlays of 20-1 and 10-1. So,
bang.
Yeah. Baseball season off to a rocking good start. All right, boys. So, listen, we always have fun with our rivals, and we'll have a lot of fun with one of them in just a second. But there was a note that came across today, a legitimate literal note from Jordan Travis, a member of the New York Jets, officially retiring from the NFL and from football because the recovery and rehab from that devastating knee injury that he suffered his senior year against North Alabama, it's just not happening. And the doctors have advised him to call it a career. And it was a tough one, man. I think it was probably you, Scoop, that tweeted that out.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it was well said, man.
You never want to see that, right? It's just one of those things. And I said it. This guy went from no chance he was ever going to be a quarterback, let alone a good one, to being one of the top in the country his senior year, leading FSU to an undefeated season and had a legitimate shot at a national championship had he not gotten hurt. And to see him not be able to recover, I mean, the kids like that, I mean, look, he's 23, 24, maybe, like, their lives change entirely. So many people counting on these kids, and it's hard, man. It's hard to see it. What I loved most about it, he hand wrote it on a piece of paper.
Right.
And call me old school, but I thought that was pretty damn cool.
Pretty good shit.
Sad situation. It's just a life of sports, especially football. It's a dangerous game. You always run the risk every time you go out there. We're human. Sometimes our bodies can only take so much force and so much trauma. Wish him well. We've rode him over the years, especially early on in the career. I remember when Rhett Lashley was the offensive coordinator. I was like, this guy's terrible. We had, one of our former sponsors picking him, we're going to beat you like at this score. And we beat them down pretty bad. And it just, things clicked for him and he had that opportunity, just didn't end well. So wish him well, whatever he decides to do in his future. But somebody like that and that stature, yeah, he'll be okay. He'll find purpose in life. We'll read a success story about him later on.
There's a rumor that he may be joining FSU staff. So that'd be a nice spot for him. There's also a report out there
maybe
that
he can teach Norvell how to do something.
Well, maybe he can work with Thomas Castellanos, who apparently is having some problems during spring practices. And
Shocker.
You don't say. Can't see over the line.
Question. Now we'll go ahead and we'll rib on these idiots. What if he doesn't pan out?
Oh.
It's just another nail in the coffin for what we know is going to happen.
Seriously.
I've always thought Mike Norvell is grossly overrated.
Agreed. But if Castellanos isn't the guy, or he's at they've got nobody.
Yeah, no, they got Glenn.
They got two guys left.
Yeah.
One was a 5-star. They have no one on their roster. They went and got a wide receiver to play quarterbacks. They don't have any quarterbacks.
And think about that. Like when Jordan Travis started to take off, who was known as the quarterback guy? Who was the quarterback whisperer? Now you fast forward a couple of years, life comes at you fast. Now Mario is the one who puts a number 1 overall pick in the NFL draft. And now Florida State Norvell has a wide receiver playing quarterback.
Listen, of the big 3 head coaches, he's on the shakiest ground, I think, right now.
That's impossible.
It's insane.
It's impossible.
Insane, right?
Impossible.
I think it's true.
The Bayou Billy is not ahead of him.
Like, I think if they have a bad season, Norvell gets canned after this year. I really do.
God. Oh my God.
If it remotely looks like anything last year, and I think remotely is less than 6 wins. Less than 6 wins is gone. Even 7-5. He needs at least 8-4.
He needs to
and a bowl win. 7-5 and a bowl win. 8-4 and a bowl win. No, I do, because
I see him
that's
coming in at 5-7.
And then if that's the case, 5-7 University, which we've called them now for years, other than that one magical season that they had, we'll see.
Now
and then bring down Dion.
And
the circus gets closer to home.
Billy's squad. This was just, and I'm just going to read. We just ripped on ESPN a little while ago about their journalistic integrity, but this is their headline. DJ Lagway has finished resting his ailing right throwing shoulder. So apparently it was ailing after all of the spring practice, so he had to rest it. It is end of April. Like, this season hadn't even started yet, and his shoulder's already ailing. We heard there were reports about this last year. Is it possible that he's just damaged goods here and that he's going to need to get this is not a good thing. Jenners, oh no, this is not good.
No, this is not good.
I mean, I remember those dog days of spring and summer when you throw a lot as a quarterback too. Some of the shoulder tendonitis, it could be that simple. And then, you just give it some rest, just go through your rehab, go through your process, get to the season. Adrenaline starts kicking. I think he could be okay. I mean, but am I panicking over that? No, but the fact that they're running a headline on it.
Wasn't there something about the shoulder during the season last year? I don't know.
I thought so.
I feel like this has kind of been a lingering thing, and I'm like, whoa, this is, he hasn't thrown for a few months. Like, this shouldn't be a lingering thing unless it's a thing.
I think, I think he's kind of inaccurate as a thrower. You saw what Cam Ward does. He's at the top of the mountain. That is where you look to pattern things. I never got a sense, rarely ever. And I'm asking you guys the same question. When you watch Cam Ward, did you ever get this sense, man, that guy's inaccurate? He might have had a ball sail on him, missed the thing, but you never got stretches of this sense, this ideological sense that, oh my goodness, Cam Ward is inaccurate with the football. I always thought Cam Ward was accurate with the football. And if you ask me personally, if there's one trait other than upstairs, I'm just talking about like something a quarterback can do, you have to be accurate with the football. And I've seen DJ Lagway, he's killed snakes, bro. Like, it's like, what are you doing? And then after he kills a snake, he kills a bird. And I'm like, what are you doing? You're like a big game hunter, bro. You need to be a quarterback. You get it to the wide receiver. You're killing things all over the place. And there was another quarterback that had some accuracy issues who played at Florida, and he's no longer really looked at favorably in the NFL. So he gives me a lot of vibes of that. They love to hype their quarterback there in Gainesville, and I don't buy it. I don't buy the Lagway hype whatsoever.
He got hurt against the Dogs. Knocked out with a lower body injury. The games he played completed 59.9% of his passes, 1,915 yards, 12 touchdowns, 9 picks.
12 and 9.
Yeah.
59% in a game, right? In a college game where it's like it could be bubble or bust at time. They give you a lot of easy looks in college, not so much in the NFL. I don't like it.
All right. I think we're good with Kane stuff. We got some great audio.
Where do you want to start?
Wherever you want to start there, Mr. Producer.
Do you want to play the Shedeur Sanders prank call, or are we done with Shedeur Sanders? We don't even care.
Well, I saw the press conference by his dad.
But you can.
Falcons got fined $250,000 today. Jeff Ulbrich, the defensive coordinator for the Falcons, got fined $100,000 because his son Jax pulled Shedeur's number out of his iPad.
Incredible.
And then
I'm more
how much trouble is that guy in?
But filmed it and posted it.
Yeah.
How much trouble is he in?
I'm fascinated by that home dynamic right now.
Yeah.
Just lost $100,000.
Yeah. How do you
because our son is a dick.
How do you handle it?
This is belt to ass, bro. I mean,
BTA.
Can you get $100,000 worth of belt to ass though?
No, you can't.
Oh, we'll try.
I mean,
we'll try.
I'll tell you this.
Give it our best.
I saw his dad's press conference, and his dad, bro, I can't give him enough credit. You could just tell he is fucking furious. He was terrified he might lose his job. Like, there's a whole bunch of emotions going through that dad and that employee's brain right now. And you could just tell that he was barely keeping everything contained during that 10-minute press conference today. But, bro, how do you look at your dad if you, like, man, you got to feel like the worst person in the world when you look at your dad, like the what you're putting him through.
I might see it. I might see it a little bit differently. It's like boys will be boys, right? That was a steroid version of like going ahead and TPing toilet paper in somebody's yard, or throwing the eggs, or ding dong ditch, right? In his mind, he was just playing a prank. And then in this generation, all the pranks, why not put it on social media for likes? Because everybody's posting workouts and this. I mean, my goodness, Shedeur posted he had a film crew follow him 24/7. So it's almost like, yeah, okay. And he's getting fined because his dad happens to be part of the NFL. So it's like, to me, I'm like, whatever. Dad, I'm sorry. I just did what I was doing. I didn't mean for it to get on your desk, and never thought in a million years it would do it. If I knew that was going to happen, I would never have done it. But I know why he done it, because Shedeur's a dick. He's the biggest one. And he was an easy mark. He was an easy mark. Let's just be on. Oh, how could you call him? Because just look at the way the guy acts and treats people. That's why everybody celebrated the fact that he fell. Now you got somebody pranking him? He deserved it, in my opinion. He deserved it. He deserved it. Absolutely deserved, after the way he's talked to people over and over on video and what you see in his ego and his dad. You deserved it, bro. It's like getting they showed the anniversary of Sean Kemp dunking on somebody today or something like that, and literally pointing at him. You just got pointed at, Shedeur. You got dunked on and pointed at, and everybody celebrated on it because you were the easy mark. I actually don't fault the kid at all. I really don't. Not the one who pulled it. Not a popular take, but whatever.
I'm right down the middle on this, to be honest with you, because I completely agree with Roe. I mean, it's not as though it's not deserved or funny to an extent, because a lot of people thought it was really damn funny. And he's right. If the guy who was getting marked was a genuine person, if that were Xavier Restrepo, right? It's totally different. It's not. It's a guy who does nothing but walk around and show you what watch he's wearing and talk about his rap videos, and in his press conferences at the combine and everything else, just be the guy that you tend to not be liked, right? I mean, so I don't blame the kid for doing it, because it's clout too. You don't think that his boys and everybody in that room thought it was the funniest damn thing they'd ever seen in their lives?
Amen.
So, yeah. But the reality is, he got the number in a way that he knew could risk his father's career.
No, see, that's the thing, Scoop. He didn't realize, he didn't think it through, like how easy it would be to figure out where the number came from. He posted the video. Oh, that's Jeff Ulbricht's
the
kid.
kicker.
He's
That's
the DC of Atlanta.
I get it.
Like, I mean, you
but
were
he's
fucking
still like,
moron.
you have to. Okay, hold on a second. Let's take a step back.
You're a college student.
Take a step back for half a second.
Not very smart.
You're taking a number from your dad's NFL iPad. you're not that much of a fucking idiot to think that that's not a problem. Like, of course he thought that could be a problem. You can't tell me he didn't. You can't be that dumb. You can't be that dumb.
Why would you do that to your dad?
I don't know. Maybe he doesn't like his dad.
Well, then he's a dick.
I don't know. I don't know. You don't know that. You can't say that.
He's a kid. He didn't think it through. That's all.
Yeah. But like, so like,
dumb stuff did we do
with
kids? Thank God it wasn't filmed and put
on.
on.
Never cost my parents $100,000. Thank
you also
God.
didn't post anything.
True. Well, thank God we didn't have social media.
Right. I mean,
if you put, not saying this is gonna happen, but if you put a GoFundMe, help pay for the $100K for pranking Shedeur Sanders.
Oh my God!
Within 10 seconds, it would be up to like 10.2 million.
Absolutely would. Yes, it would.
Because people would be like, I thought it was funny. Here you go. We'll help pay for it.
And the overage can go to a charity. They should do it.
All right.
Yeah.
So I'm the minority on this one. I'm the angry old man. Get off my lawn.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, since we're on angry old men who need to get off people's lawns, how about Bill Belichick? That CBS interview
I think he wants to stay on that lawn.
Was a bit of a disaster.
Probably not one there.
Yeah.
Yeah, probably not. A little tuft, maybe. A little arrow pointing down. A little
He
heart.
doesn't even know what to do with that. I mean,
Playboy bunny.
I find this whole thing uncomfortable.
Oh yeah, especially this part.
Jordan was a constant presence during our interview.
You have Jordan right over there. Everybody in the world seems to be following this relationship. They've got an opinion about your private life. It's got nothing to do with them, but they're invested in it. How do you deal with that?
Never been too worried about what everybody else thinks. Just try to do what I feel like is best for me and what's right.
How did you guys meet?
Not talking about this.
No?
No.
It's a topic neither one of them is comfortable commenting on.
She shut that down fast.
Hooker.
So you're saying Pretty Woman? This is a Pretty Woman event?
Oh.
Is it?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought that's what Toast just said. I thought he said hooker.
I'm sorry. No, I sneezed.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
That's
I think he said booger.
Yeah.
Oh, Booger McFarlane. Yeah.
Booger
McFarlane hooked him up. We are not insinuating anything on that. What are you talking about? That went off the rails fast. Booger McFarlane set them up. That's what happens when you're like, 50, 60 years her senior. So it is what it is. People are going to talk about it. If you're in a relationship like that, you better have thick skin, bro. And he does. Are you kidding me? It's Bill Belichick. He's the master. Oh, we're on to next week. You think he's going to that guy, the guy that's constantly in NFL pressers had the reputation to basically shut you down, is all of a sudden going to be open and talk to you about his relationship with somebody that's like 50 years younger? Oh, you're dumb for even insinuating.
It's the fact that the girl chirped in from behind the couch.
Not talking about this.
I mean, It's not your interview, sweetheart.
Right, but have you seen, did you see the clips of her at the spring game on the field?
Oh yeah.
In that outfit?
With the boots.
So here's my thing. Here's what's fascinating to me.
They are stabbing themselves in the eyes right now.
Well, so this is what I'm loving. This is what I'm loving. Is that she is all Miss Social Media girl, right? Just absolutely wannabe influencer, this or that, building my brand, whatever. This dude just wears sweatshirts. He doesn't he'll cut out the freaking top.
There was a hole in the sweatshirt he was wearing in the interview.
He was wearing a navy sweatshirt.
Any of that, and she's sitting here trying to pose him for pictures and crap. I think it's hilarious. Like the dinner thing when he's just sitting there, just he doesn't care. Like she is, hooking him up with favors, and he's letting her hang around, and he doesn't care. He'll be dead in 10 years. He's like 75.
So apparently she stormed off the set a couple of times during this interview, according to reports. And now you have this one today from The Athletic that she had a big hand in HBO's Hard Knocks parting ways with UNC. The Athletic is reporting this today.
UNC.
He might wear the holy sweaters, but she definitely wears the pants. So that's what I'm learning here.
Requests for her heavy involvement in the project. According to The Athletic, quote, the conversation took a turn we were not comfortable with, according to Hard Knocks, HBO producers.
This is great. Dude, I can't wait to see how they do this season. This is going to be a story.
So she blew up the
Bill
UNC
Belichick.
Hard Knocks.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be
interesting.
They hate the fact that they hired him right now. They didn't see her coming.
They did not.
Oh, no, she was a wild card.
Nope.
What do you have
He's
to
the
do your
most
background
bland
checks?
person in the world, bro. How would you see that coming? The dude has never held a press conference that was interesting in his life. How would you see this coming? This is so out of character for him.
That is so
like
true.
His last girlfriends have been nothing like this.
Is he get? Is this for cause? You think?
She's the cause.
Yeah, can they fire him for cause?
She's the cause.
Not talking about this.
Yeah.
Sorry,
oh my
honey.
goodness.
Yeah.
She just. Oh, she sounds like the life of the party. Oh my goodness.
I love it. This is great ACC drama. Like ACC needs to
You
just
think
have
her
cameras following
her
them
friends
around.
like her?
You think what?
You think her friends like her?
No. You think his friends like her?
Her friends.
No, her friends.
I don't think
his
any
friends like her. Yeah, his friends.
Right?
Do you think?
She doesn't have any
I think
friends anymore,
I
right?
think his friends like the idea of them dating.
Yeah, of course.
That's
of course.
different than liking.
I mean, we're
Like
we're
the
80 years old, and next thing you know, you're telling me you're dating 20-something-year-old. I'm like,
so you're telling me there's a chance.
I'm just I'm fist bumping you all day.
All right, Baylen is back.
Oh God.
Baylen was on, and we love Baylen Dupree, who is the star of TLC's Baylen Out Loud. She's very popular on Instagram, TikTok, posts a lot of videos talking about her Tourette's. She did a video this week where she was trying to explain Tourette's syndrome for people that aren't familiar with it, and it was just littered with amazing Baylen stuff. So we wanted to.
Hi. You are not the father. My name is Baylen, and I suffer with a little baby wiener. God damn! I suffer with Tourette syndrome. Tourette syndrome is an involuntary motor and vocal disorder. And what comes along with a little baby weenie? Santa has a little baby weenie. He told me. The one thing that comes with Tourette syndrome, and it's only in 10% of people who have Tourette's, is called corpulalia. Corpulalia, little baby weenie, is the absence or vulgar usage of words that like kind of no one wants to hear. However, they're involuntary. Hate. Double hate. Look at your forehead. Head ass. Christmas tree head ass. Tippy tap that wiener, tap the rotisserie chicken. And again, that's only in 10% of people that have Tourette's. So it's not with everyone that has a little baby weenie. It's not with everyone that has Tourette's. Fuck you.
Bro, what was the rotisserie thing?
What's she
Tap
saying?
the wiener with a rotisserie chicken?
Are you ready?
Tap that wiener, tap the rotisserie chicken.
Tap the
wiener,
tap
the
wiener,
rotisserie
tap the
chicken.
rotisserie chicken.
So she has a boyfriend, right? And he's on the show. I've never watched the show because you know me, this is completely awkward. So
I
I'll
think
never
they're
watch
engaged, if I'm
awkward.
not mistaken. Yeah.
So you know he has a tiny wiener.
With a little baby wiener.
He has to.
Maybe his name
and
is Santa
there's
Claus.
little baby wiener. You have it.
Questions now. Like, so does she go through phases where she says a certain thing like baby wiener over and over again for like a couple of days and then moves on to something else? Like
I
it
think
goes
so,
through.
yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Because otherwise
like a
that'll
lot
be
of those,
replaced by a different phase.
A lot of those
later.
ticks, though, yeah, but like you're right. Like if that's the one that she's stuck on
Mm-hmm.
it for a while.
Right.
And I've known one other person in my life with Tourette's, and it's like for him it was tapping. Like he had a tap on everything, and it was like 3 times, 4 times, 4 times, 3 times. It was like fidgety. It was like OCD almost. But once you're stuck in it, that's you're stuck.
A cornucopia?
As the fiance, can he say whatever he wants to her?
Oh my goodness, he has carte blanche. She has to have the right. She has the right.
So.
I mean, she can say whatever she wants to him, and he can't get mad about it.
Well, right, but she's not saying any of it with like hate or.
Well, you don't know that.
Well, I mean, I think you'd know if she was like yelling at you, then she had an episode.
Like, but when do you know to take her serious? What if she's just like one day just on a divorce? She's like, I want a divorce. You got a tiny wiener. I love you,
Like,
honey.
right, she
Like,
watched
wait a
the
second. Wait,
marathon of
I'm
divorce
so
court,
confused.
And all of a sudden now she's all talking about
Divorce.
alimony.
Yeah.
With a little baby wiener.
Yeah,
Well,
he
that's
definitely
why.
has one. Yeah, little baby wiener.
Tap
And why
the
does
wiener,
she?
tap the rotisserie chicken.
Why does she go English?
And why does she go? That's what I was just about to ask. Why does she go English when she talks about wieners?
Tap that rotisserie chicken.
That's a good question, though. Yeah. Why she's British all of a sudden? Yeah.
Yeah.
like, did she have rotisserie chicken today, and that's why it was, or did she at the grocery store and saw one, and that's why it's in her head?
From Costco.
That's
yeah, she went to
bizarre,
Costco
man,
and saw the
No, you don't
rotisserie
get those
chicken.
rotisserie chickens. Those things those are gigantic, dude. That's not a normal chicken.
That's not a chicken.
No, that's like got
It's a condor.
every sort of, I don't know what they inject in that goddamn thing.
Yeah.
It works out. That's all.
Listen, I'll eat the muffins. I'm not eating the chicken.
The muffins are big too.
They're juicing everything up, man.
I'm just telling you.
They are, and you can't leave the store
absolutely
if you only have one package of those.
That is true.
Yeah. Well,
They won't let you leave the building
because
No,
the next
you gotta
one's
have
free.
two. Yep.
It's incredible. No,
buy
you
one,
gotta
get
go
one
back
free.
and get the other one. I don't want the other
Phenomenal.
one. It doesn't fucking matter. You have to go back and get it.
All right, what's next?
All right, very last thing, and then we'll go to 5 questions. Debate of the week.
Oh.
Could 100 men beat one gorilla?
This is the best thing I saw on Twitter in years.
I don't
The
know what this is.
responses.
You don't know what this is?
I don't know
A
what
dude
this is.
just randomly
Oh, this
tweeted
is
out,
super
Scoop,
viral.
I'm pretty sure 100 dudes could take down one gorilla. They just have to be dedicated to it. And it got 250 million views.
It's been on,
Everyone's like now
everything.
talking about, they're breaking down who the 100 people would be. No weapons, 100 human beings against a full-grown silverback gorilla, which stands about 6 feet tall and 400 pounds.
Okay.
Who would win?
I don't think it's unilaterally like, I mean, the obvious answer is the gorilla's winning, right? That's the obvious answer. It just depends on who these 100 men are.
I don't think it does.
It definitely does.
Because that's what I'm saying. I think you're going to give the percentage chance to the gorilla. But I think there's a chance if you get the right people, like who know like certain tactics and techniques, you're going to have some casualties here now. So you're going to have some sacrificial pawns. But like you're going to have like a couple people figure this out. If we take this now, we'll blow out his knee, then we'll keep him on the ground, and then we'll just jump on.
I think the second 50 get it done.
So,
Yeah,
all right, so here's,
I think
we
the
get
second
it
half,
tired.
he's tired, he's hurt, and then they just smother him. I think the second 50 get
exactly.
it done.
That's
Well, how
why
is
we
he
are
hurt?
the apex predator. Like we literally just run around and hide behind trees and let it get until it gasses itself out, and then we just suffocate him. I think it
how is
depends
it
if you have
hurt?
the right with him. Now,
How
if you
is
go
it
like
hurt?
every old school sitcom where all the bad guys try to attack one at a time,
Not gonna happen. Yeah.
well, but think about hold on. Just think about this, though. First of all, 100 guys can't attack it all at once because you're
Correct.
not going to get more than 10 that are actually making contact to the gorilla at anyone. So it's going to be like 2 and 3 deep. You're also missing out on the mental aspect of this. What happens to those first 50 guys when the second 50, when they say the first 50 have all gotten their heads squashed and limbs torn off in front of them?
No,
if
man.
you get hardened guys, we have military that deal with that. Depends on who.
Smother him enough. The question is,
He's on the smothering.
Here's the real question. The question is, who's going to be the dude to rip the gorilla's nuts off?
Well, if you talk to the MCU,
because the advantage is then yours.
Mm-hmm. All right. If you can maybe pull that off, I don't know who's going under there, who's going down for that, who's diving.
Somebody got to figure it out.
I've read someone say, a few guys take him from the front and then from the back, we sweep his leg. And I'm like, bro, this isn't Danielson from Karate Kid. You're not sweeping his leg. His bone density is 4 times thicker than yours. Yeah, Johnny, you're not sweeping his leg. You try to sweep his leg, you'll break yours in half.
I'm saying give the gorilla its due. It just depends on the 100. And the environment too, because if it's just like there's no environment where like if it's just one big room and there's no ability, like I'm thinking trees and forest, like you're gonna have to have some kind of tactical advantage. If you don't, give me the gorilla.
Give me your last 5 in the ring. The last 5 humans that are left that are gonna finish the job and take out the gorilla after the first 95 have been destroyed. Who are the last 5 that win this for you?
I don't know. I'm thinking let's just get the whole UFC here.
That's what I was gonna say.
I was going cast of
Gracies.
Predator, original cast of Predator.
Oh,
I thought the same thing, actually. Yeah, I did. But then I'm like, no,
Carl
that's not
Weathers,
real.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Jesse
the most
Jesse
viral
Ventura was my first
meme.
thought, right?
Jesse was my first thought for one of the top 5 guys. And I'm like, that's not real.
Carl Weathers gets
Kimbo
his
Slice, the ghost of Kimbo Slice.
Kimbo Slice one up, man.
Right.
That's one-on-one.
Kimbo Slice is one-on-one, exactly.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Depends on the 100. What a great question.
Give me the starting 5 for the 1989 Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, right.
Just get out there.
Bill Laimbeer. Throw Bill Laimbeer in there 100%.
There,
yes,
man.
absolutely.
Oh, those guys were terrorizers.
Was it Ben Watson? What was his name? The center. Ben
Wallace.
Wallace.
Ben Wallace.
Yeah, Ben Wallace.
Oh, my God.
I saw this dude. He has the world's largest hands. Have you seen this guy?
Yeah.
Like he literally holds like a Coke can like this. It's like a thimble. Give us that dude. That's one of the 100. I'm sure you can do some with the hands. That's the guy who's ripping the gorilla's nuts off.
There you go.
Give me the hands guy.
In his prime.
How about Shaq? He could be the guy who rips the nuts.
That's one of the 100. Yeah, that's one of our muscle.
He can't move anymore.
Yeah, we're talking about in
5
prime.
minutes to get out of his chair.
He just has to lay it down and just reach up. And just
you know
rip
who rips
them
off the nuts? At the last second, you throw in the Uso brothers, and they're quick. They'll go dive right underneath and rip that sack right off.
Uso! Ain't no me.
All right, you got 5 questions?
Yes, I do. We're going traditional.
Croc or oh boy.
Nah, Croc let me down. Yeah, nah.
You deleted it, so I think you let yourself down.
Yeah, no. It was nah. Anyways, when did you actually start to feel like an adult?
Well, I guess that would be
gotta be after today.
Summer night at the night after summer camp.
Late December
that I got my wet dream.
In 60. Whoa, a very special time for me. I will tell you when I had a world awakening experience for me, I'm like, holy cow. It's when I actually got into the fire service. And I think people who knew me coming from a band, right? And next thing you know, I'm a firefighter and I'm a paramedic. And people would come to me like, bro, so when I call 911, it's you who shows up? I'm like, yeah. And they're like, that's scary. And that's really what it was, because when I was early on in my career, I always had something that was called an FTO. They were watching me. And, I knew they wouldn't let me kill somebody if I made a bad decision or anything like that. It's kind of an apprenticeship in our field. And I remember the day it was just me on an ambulance, me, right? And then somebody was fresh out of school, and I just realized if somebody calls 911 and they're dying, I'm the one that's showing up. And I was like, yeah, that's when I felt like an adult. Scoopy hates these questions. Jenners.
He really does.
When I had my first apartment, living on my own, like having to cook my own food and do my own laundry, and it was like, yeah, this sucks.
I mean, this is kind of an obvious one, but I think it's kind of late, though. So I would have had to have thought it prior to. I mean, maybe when I bought my first house. That wasn't going to be my answer, but that might be it.
I was going to think of that one, too. Yeah.
When I bought my first one, yeah. Having a kid really makes you feel like an adult.
It changes you.
Yeah. Never prepared for that. Still don't know what the fuck I'm doing 14 years later.
Yeah. All right. Question number 2. In terms of a word, what is the male equivalent of bitch?
Pennies.
You call a dude panties? I mean, like, what's the male equivalency of being called a bitch?
Prick.
Ooh, okay.
I'm saying douche.
Ooh, that's a good. Me, Chad, and I'm gonna go with a cuck. You're just a
cuck. That's the modern slang. Yeah.
Yeah, that is like you are.
Everyone's a cuck.
It just stings.
It does. So wait, we might have stumbled on to something different. We said equivalency of bitch, but I think cuck might be the C word for girls, right? But for boys,
yeah.
you know, because never call a woman that. Never call them that C word. So yeah, we have our own C word. All right, question number 3. Your friend gives you $200 to gamble. We go to BTB, obviously, and you win $262,000. What would you do?
The friend gave you the $200 to gamble, and you turned it into 262,000.
Yeah.
I'd probably throw him like 20 grand.
I was gonna say I'd give him the 62. I'll keep the 200.
Oh, there you go. Okay.
Yeah, I think you got to cut him off at least a quarter, right? Somewhere in that vicinity.
Like 25 or a quarter of the winnings?
No, 25%. Yeah, a quarter of the winnings.
Quarter of the winnings.
Okay,
Yeah.
so like 70.
I like the 62. I like this. It's around. Hey, you know what? You gave me 200. I turned your 200 to 62. How much did you win? Don't ask. Hey, remember that story about my chief who won the lottery? I told you that story. He won the scratch off. Guess who's set to retire in about a month? True story.
Nice.
Got that email last week. What song instantly puts you in a good mood?
Mine's obscure.
Okay.
Angels on the Moon.
Oh, that is a good song.
By Thriving Ivory.
It's a good song. Bro, I think it's, you put Bob Marley's like greatest hits. One of those songs comes on, I'm transported somewhere on a beach with a fictional Corona.
Yeah.
No woman, no cry. I'm smiling. I'm in a good mood. Don't worry about a thing, because every little thing.
Yeah, I'm going Born on Blonde's What It Takes.
Good. Agreed. Well done.
It's kind of that one, right? Makes all of us laugh hysterically every time it comes along.
Yeah, it does. I mean, it really does. Every time I hear that song, I do laugh. That does put me in a good mood. That is that. All right. We're all married men, so I decided to go with question number 5. What's a cheat code you discovered in marriage that actually works?
Yes, honey.
Yeah, the term yes, honey. I'll tell you, for me, and it was a piece of advice later on, especially because of the family. It was like, everybody's an idiot. Everybody's retarded. You know, it was just a family I grew up with. Don't be offended. So, like, when I learned in terms of my marriage not to name call, like, I have like a no name calling policy. It's like, hey, why would you do that, you idiot? You know, when I stopped that, it was like, it really was a cheat code for me.
That's a very good one. Good for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's a terrible idea. Name calling.
Yeah.
You don't end up staying married very long.
But it was just
make a concerted effort too.
Yeah, but I think that's one thing. Just like, though, like, hey man, why did you do? Why was it? You were just acting so stupid. Like, I would just say things like that because I mean, I got called everything under the sun by my mother, so it was just a way that I talked. You know,
I'm coming up on my 24th wedding anniversary. I am married to a woman that is presently navigating menopause. I don't say a fucking word.
Total silence.
Fucking mute, bro. I am mute. I don't have an opinion on anything. I don't say a word. Yes, dear. Mm-hmm. And when she wakes up in the middle of the night and says, feel my fucking sweaty back, I go ahead and I feel it.
Lovely.
Mm-hmm.
And you roll over and douse yourself in rubbing alcohol.
Basically, yes.
And she's not Baylen at that moment when she's saying that.
Nope. No, her head's spinning around like the fucking Exorcist.
Rotisserie chicken.
Oh my
goodness. Mine's I don't know. Mine's easy for me because I like to do it, but I cook. I like to cook. Cooking solves a lot of, like, I'll do the dishes, I'll cook, I'm fine. I like to do it. And then there's no stress about dinner or any of that nonsense. It's just, I got it covered.
I love doing the dishes, bro. I find it therapeutic.
I also do the dishes. I don't find it therapeutic, but I do it because I like to stay married.
Well, I just like, because everyone leaves you alone
therapy.
and it's quiet.
It's a little quiet
no one's talking to you. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. It's true.
It's like time in the car by yourself.
Yeah, basically. Yeah.
Yeah, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's why
like being in the bathroom without having to use the pop.
I think that's where the missus does do it, because she puts on her earphones and she just ends up doing the dishes. I'll cook lavish feasts, and I do like the first round of like cooking everything. So like when I'm done, the only thing is the dishes. But usually I don't do those dishes. I do the first round, like whatever I used. Yeah, whatever I cooked with, I will take care of notoriously. But whatever I eat off of, usually it's like she's like, I got it. I'm like, okay. Scooby.
Ooh. Man, I got a lot. I'm trying to figure out. So I always joke that yes, dear was the two best words I ever learned. But that was, Toast already took that. I think when you realize that it's not all about you, right? I mean, that other person over on the other side could think it's all about them as well, right? And when you stop, thinking that each one of you thinks it's not. If you're going to do this together, it's, I think about Steph far more than I think about myself in any decision. So I think that's probably where I would go.
And that is 5 questions.
Hey,
there we go. Nice.
What are we going to name this?
Well, we got a bunch. Let's start with a before
Tap that rotisserie chicken.
That's on there.
Oh, sorry.
Let's start with a before the show nomination of West on Sunrise.
I missed that one.
This is a pre-scoop conversation.
Where? Where am I turning west from?
No, you're not. You're just
West
headed
on
west.
Sunrise.
You're heading west on Sunrise, my friend. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like an
There's
inside joke.
a lot going on over there.
Yeah. You only need one jersey. Can he play slot receiver? Or alternatively, the 7th guy in the slot? There's a chance, but I don't know. It's still like that. Will you sign my abscess? Killing snakes and birds. Booger McFarlane hooked them up. I don't know why that's made me laugh. Fired with cause, and she's the cause. Tap that rotisserie chicken and blow out the gorilla's knee.
There's also potty portal. Scoop said.
Oh yeah, toward the top of the show. I meant to write that down and missed it.
Yeah. What do you guys want to go with, man?
I don't know. I have a top 3, and that is blow out the gorilla's knee, tap the rotisserie chicken, and West on Sunrise.
Yeah, I'm tap the rotisserie chicken or West on Sunrise. Those are my 2.
Oh, now we're down to 2, so now we got to figure it out between you two. West on Sunrise or tap the rotisserie chicken.
I love West on Sunrise because it was an inside joke, but I don't think it works because it was an inside joke. So we got to go tap that rotisserie chicken.
All right, tap that rotisserie chicken.
Okay, Braylon names this one.
Scoop in on the inside joke after the
Very good.
show's over. All
right, so we'll be back next week. As always, go Canes.
Yo! Bange.
Tap that wiener, tap the rotisserie chicken.